Going on, guys? You there? It started. Before I even start about anything or start talking about anything, I wanted to address a couple of things. And number one is the giveaway that I have going on. I know everybody knows about it. $50 to the best package comes through the PO box. And I had a couple of people say that I was losing subscribers because I was begging for things. The whole reason for me doing that giveaway is to interact. That was the whole reason. I'm not asking anybody to spend a bunch of money or anything like that. I just am wanting to interact with people like on a more one-on-one basis. So that's the whole reason for that. If it's pissing people off, we'll stop. I'm just trying to, give away stuff, grow my channel and interact with people one-on-one. That's the whole reason for that. And the second thing, the link for the shirts is in the description. Everybody go get one. So, that being done, what'd y'all think about the last list race? I would have lost every dime I had because I would have bet on Daddy Dave. And I almost went live right before it started and said that I was going to bet on Daddy Dave. And Chief even posted some stuff on Instagram, and the way he was talking, I would have thought that he would have lost it. I really would have. I would have lost that money. Kevin, you haven't seen it yet. You missed a good one. A lot of stuff. Go back and watch it. I wouldn't watch my live feed before you seen it. I'm gonna give everything away probably, but all right. The deal with Reaper. That's kind of the thing that I want to talk about right here. I'm going to do my normal weekly video. There was a lot of stuff that I have notes on and all that I want to talk about, and the main thing I want to talk about right now is Reaper. If you follow Reaper at all on his Facebook, he goes live about 3 times a day. And when all the stuff happened with Chief and the light being turned and just that whole thing was unfolding, he went live talking about he was quitting the show. He was going to call the producers that day and quit. And, he made people feel sorry for him, really, is what he done. And it's all kind of coming full circle, and you can see what he's got going. Apparently the Reaper car, was an original car at some point. And, where the D's Nuts car, he bought a scrap car somewhere, stole the vent off of it, built a composite body, and throwed a aftermarket skin on it, and that's what he done. And I would have said there's a lot more people that done that, but I don't know. Apparently those don't. So I don't know, but apparently the Reaper car does fit the spirit of the list, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is why he bought the car back or built the car again. He bought Megalodon's Pro Charge engine and put in there and is kicking ass with it. So, I feel like Reaper's not going anywhere. I feel like at the beginning of season 12, midway through season 12, you will see him make a comeback or try to come back anyway. And that is his plan. I'll say that. The reason I'm not looking at the camera is because there's comments rolling through here like crazy, and I'm trying to stay focused and not. I'll get to reading comments and get sidetracked. All right, I'm gonna roll back up here. Eric Bain, I did see Eric Bain. Boosted Ego, the driver of the white Mustang, he was there. He was talking to Dave. I did see that right there at the end. I believe I got more on here right now than I have. Here we go. I haven't seen it yet. Haha, Doc go to 4. I'll tell you what, if I had a award to give to somebody tonight, if I was giving one out every week, I would say Doc got it tonight. Doc done well. Doc moved some places and done well for what he's got working with right now. From Germany. What's up? Sucks for Dominator. Dominator's still my man. I like Dominator. He done some stuff this season that I believe he could have not done and ended up a little bit higher. I still don't understand why he gave his spot to Chuck, because Chuck couldn't go anywhere because Lutz was, he had just wrecked his car. you know, Dominator was broke, so he gave the spot to Chuck, but Chuck couldn't advance, so there really wasn't any sense in giving it to him. So I don't know. But Dominator, I'm proud of him. He done for overall the season. That's the best season Dominator's had in 8 seasons probably. Man, there's a bunch of comments here. Next week's gonna be good. Next week's gonna be an awesome episode. It's something I didn't see, and I still think there might be a. I don't think next week's gonna be it. I think there's gonna be another one after that. I don't know if it's gonna be out of town or what it is, but I feel like there's gonna be 2 more. Is it just me, or did Chief and Sean all of a sudden get some blade dude this year? It's always trying to plunk in. I've noticed that too. Giving Dave's pass. Last week I bet on Dave as well. It wasn't just that, man. Dave's been on a roll. Dave's been hard to beat. Dave, you know, he's got the car dialed in and he's making passes. And he's consistent, you know. Reaper kicked off the list. I guess you haven't watched the show. He was kicked off last week. I think Ryan is on his way back to 1. Ryan has a number 1 car. Ryan has, I think he played the buddy system and got played, and he also let Dave get in his head. That's what I think happened to Ryan. Reaper is just going to stick to no prep. Reaper will do no prep without a doubt. Reaper was kicking ass in no prep the past couple of weeks. I feel like he is going to stay at no prep, but I don't feel like he can just walk away from the show. I feel like that's why he bought the Reaper car back. Rank the cars 1 through 10. How do you think they stand as far as where they should be? John, answer that question. Like, what do you mean rank them? Like, as far as how I'm not sure how you want me to rank them. I agree with Reaper as much as I hate to admit it, because I can't stand Chief. I agree with him also. Reaper's car, I actually said that. I don't remember if it was a live video or a video I made a while back. I had heard that Reaper's car, that was one reason why they was giving him so much hell, is because his car was a composite body car, you know. I like how Chief, which we didn't see the show like minute for minute and everything that happened, but I like how Chief, when they was talking about go stick a magnet to it, and he opened the door and looked on the inside, he didn't even, you know, worry about the magnet. So Street Outlaws is not going anywhere just because Reaper's done. Doesn't mean everyone else is. I didn't say it did. Street Outlaws, if it doesn't do a major turnaround, Street Outlaws ain't gonna be here much longer, guy. Dirt track racing is better. I have dirt track raced my entire life. I started when I was 5 years old racing go-karts, and I have dirt track my whole life. I have drag raced my whole adult life. If it's competitive, I like it. What's up, Dustin? The saying is boosted GT will be back on the show. I know he'll make an appearance on one episode when they go to California, because he was there. I don't think that he's back racing, like list racing with the 405 though. I think they have been giving Reaper a bad deal. Some nights I do, and some nights I think he brings it on himself. The grudge race, man, I want to see that. I feel like that's what Chief's gonna. That's gonna be his way to tell everybody to settle their beefs. Is gonna be on the track. Reaper will be back with a vengeance. He is rolling now. He is rolling on no prep. I don't know how it's gonna transfer to the street, but he is rolling. Dirt is for growing potatoes. When I dirt track raced, I had a saying. It said, "Dirt's for racing. Asphalt just gets you to the track." Wisconsin, man, I got people from everywhere. Texas. Doc's been busting his ass. Glad to see him working through issues he had for 4 seasons, and Dominator is probably my favorite. Man, Kamikaze is probably gonna be my favorite no matter where he's at, for real. there's several guys on there that I think is genuine. Dominator, Monza. I like Monza, but Kamikaze is my favorite, I guess. I think he's about everybody's. He's an underdog, and he is, that car isn't a joke. It's a for real deal now. I'm trying to just catch up on comments here. When is Kamikaze gonna start racing? He is racing. He was at Bristol. Roll Tide. Some of us on the West Coast, it would be cool if you waited 3 hours. Man, it'd be like midnight if I waited 3 hours. Can't do that, dog. I gotta get up in the morning. Here we go. 3 hours. So you mean, hang on. Wait, I'm confused. Some of us on the West Coast, it would be cool if you waited 3 hours. I do love your channel, but come on, man. What, the show hadn't come on out west yet? I thought it'd come on at the same time, just the time frame, it's come on at 8 instead of 7, or 7 instead of 8, or whatever. Oh, you from Ohio? You from the land of dirt tracks? Colorado, UK, man, it's like every country and every state's on here right now. It's awesome, man. I love doing this with y'all. The only one flaw is that he's still doing all the build himself and incomparable at the power complexity these cars are putting out now. Something he's been doing right. He's done good this season. He got a, done fair at the list shakeup, and he stayed right amongst the middle until he was too good of a guy and gave Chuck his spot. I believe he would have been, Dominator could have finished at least one spot ahead of where he ended up if he wouldn't have done that, and I don't understand why he done what he done. But, I think it's just that he's a good guy. When he gave the spot to Chuck, if Chuck could have went ahead and raced Lutz that night, it would have made sense. But there's been several things that didn't make any sense this season. Panama City. Oh, I've been there. Got in trouble down there. I've had a lot of fun in Panama City also. Videos coming tomorrow. What are you talking about? Reaper said at PR his car has a composite car with skins on it. I have a video. I watched the video. Man, you got to think, like with what I do here, if I don't know everything about everybody who's ever been on any show to do with racing, I'm going to get called out by somebody. So I do try to keep up with the 405 guys a little more. That's mainly how my show was built. So I do try to keep up with them. It is hard, especially with everything else I have going on, but I watched when Reaper unveiled the D's Nuts car, and I don't remember him saying that it had a composite body. I remember him saying that it had a, steel roof and quarters, and the way he portrayed it, in my opinion, was that it was a steel roof and quarter car. But I have heard since then, from a lot of people that it wasn't. Let me catch back up here. Is it true that the car changes was made by Reaper and his brother or HPP? Which car? Any major changes that was done was not done by Reaper and his brother. I'm not even sure if HPP tunes the D's Nuts car. I'm not sure. Appreciate it, Casey. If they did more racing instead of bitching, it would be better. Yeah, I agree, but there's a lot of people that like it whining and crying. Do you think the program is done or you're done? I hope neither. Maryland, Huntsville, Alabama checking in. You're about 3 hours away. Woke up to watch me, y'all. This is a pretty face to wake up to, ain't it? Shane needs to go next. Shane was on the roll tonight. He didn't really race anybody that gave him any competition, but he moved up a couple of spots. Shane always pulls through when he absolutely has to. You think Murder Nova will get it together? I always think Murder Nova will get it together. Um, I still don't understand how the production or whatever, when it, he won the cash days and turned right around and couldn't make it fall out of a tree on the first episode. I don't understand that. Cleveland, Ohio, Florence, Alabama. What's up, Robert? I feel you're right about Reaper, and he will be back next season. Oh, absolutely. I feel like he's coming back. I don't think he would be worried about the Reaper car as much money as he just put into the These Nuts car if he wasn't coming back. He bought that car about the time all this would have happened in real life. Or I say bought it, got it back, whatever he had with the Blue Ball guy. Eldora. I've always wanted to go to Eldora. New York, Oregon, man, I've got like literally Idaho. You think Youngblood will ever try out for the list? I don't. I do feel like that. The question here is, do you think Youngblood, which you're talking about Monza's son, Brandon, will ever try out for the list? I don't. I feel like, well, I know that there's a lot of small tire action that goes on, in the 405 and, surrounding areas that you never see on television. You can look, it's all over every form of social media. And I feel like if he was going to do something, it would be there. But Brandon, I don't know the true story. I mean, I've heard both sides, but they say that he is not that bad of a guy. He's a good guy. He was just the way they portrayed him. And, I said it in my last video, production can make you like or hate somebody by one video. It can be somebody you really like, your favorite driver, and they portray them one way and everybody jumps down their throat. So, I don't think Brandon will ever come to the list. I don't think I know Brandon's car is not. So, Reaper was a big storyteller. I'm quitting the list, a true robot. Yeah, he tried to slide one in there on him. Don't listen to the haters, man. I got haters. I got haters hating every day, man. I'll never listen to them. I'm not going nowhere, and I'm not going to change what I'm doing. But, I had somebody say that to me. I think it was a comment, and what you're talking about, I'm assuming, is the deal with what I was talking about my P.O. box. I don't care. I'm going to do it, and like I said in the beginning of this video, it's just to interact with everybody. Do you think Chief has been shady? I absolutely think he's been shady. I do think that Chief has a deep down somewhere, he really does the things he does for the integrity of the list, even if it doesn't look like it. I do think that he kind of lost his way amongst the last couple of seasons, and he don't know how to get a grasp back on how big he actually is how I feel like, 5 years ago he was basically nobody, and now look where he's at. So, and you got to kind of put yourself in his shoes, I guess. But I'm not taking up for him for the shit he's done, because it still ain't right. But, you didn't catch the whole story, like when the whole deal with Rican and Reaper, I heard that they was trying to get his car off the list then. So, I don't know. I don't know. Did you say Reaper bought Megalodon's engine and that's what he's racing? Yes, he bought Megalodon's engine, and that is what is in the Reaper car now. I got haters on my channel. I blocked them. Man, I ain't blocking nobody. I don't care. I'll mix it up with anybody. Love the stream. Gotta get on Dallas and play that, man. I hate to hear that. Brandon tried for the list a long time ago. Claims attention. Yeah, he's tried for it twice, and it's, him having a small tire car. There's no way a small tire car is ever gonna be able to do anything on that list now. If it did, it would be luck. JJ is the best and realest racer of them all. That's what the guy says here. Dave is the best driver, but yeah, he's a jerk sometimes, but I like him. I like Dave, man. I ain't got a problem with Dave. Dave's a driver. He can wheel the piss out of him. He's proved it over and over and over. Dave can talk shit and get somebody's head too. I'm not even gonna read this dude's message. What were you right about? Hell, I don't know, man. That's been more than a minute ago. Shane is a clutch. Okay, I'm gonna roll back down to the bottom. I don't want this thing to be an hour long like it usually is. I think they need a small tire list and a big tire. I think there's a lot of people that feels that way, but the NOLA guys tried it and it didn't work. Out of Chief's own mouth, he says that he has one list for the baddest MFers on the planet, and doesn't have. If you want to make a small tire list, put big tires on your car, is what he says. I don't think there will ever be a small tire list on the show. There is definitely one, and a lot of small tire action that's going on, but it's not on the show. Blue Ball never owned the car. He didn't use it because he gave it to his brother. I didn't think he owned it, but I wasn't sure. I want to say Dominator hit number 1. I think we all do. Reaper's coming back, y'all. I mean, I don't know if he'll make it on the list, but he got that car back and started putting all the money and all the time into it for a reason, and it wasn't for no prep. That is what he built these nuts car for. It'd be nice if Farm Truck built something to compete. I agree. I don't think that hearse is going to be any type of list type thing. Look how unsteady the 57 is, due to aerodynamic problems. Think about that hearse. That hearse is going to be a brick. Like, think about the way a child draws a car. Like that's what the hearse looks like. It is going to be so the opposite of aerodynamic. It's going to be heavy. It's not going to. I am interested to see what, they said 2,000 to 3,000 horsepower will do in something all-wheel drive. I'm interested to see what that would do on a drag race, that heavy. I'm interested to see, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it. They can't fish or anything like that anymore. Everybody knows them, so I don't see where the car fits in. I've done made a video on it, but go for the list, yeah. Who should be race master? I don't know. I have heard Farm Truck over and over and over, but I don't know. From my understanding of Farm Truck, he's not as innocent and nice as he portrays himself on television. I don't know. I haven't been around the guy at length, so I don't know. Dave is the only one who's been to the number 1 with 3 cars. He can wheel one, that's for sure. Dave's the only one. Chief's been on number 1 with 2 different cars. So, no, Chief's been number 1 with 3 different cars. The White Crow, the Crow Mod, and the Black Crow. So, Dave ain't the only one that's been to number 1 with 3 different cars. Montgomery. Have I ever been to Montgomery Motor Speedway? I have not. I've been to Montgomery a lot, but not Montgomery Motor Speedway. Swamp Thing isn't aerodynamic, but Swamp Thing is light. Swamp Thing has a composite body. It's not a steel Cadillac. It's a carbon fiber or fiberglass or whatever body. It's hauled out and made to a race car. It's heavy, but it's not. Even Swamp Thing is shorter. Look how short that windshield is on that car. Look how low it sets on the ground. You can see how the wheel wells come up in the back glass. It is. uh, hang on. Look at the group they were calling their small town list. Boosted in common cause will wear their ass at. Who? Swamp Thing is similar to the Hearst. I mean, the only thing, they're both long tops. That's about the only thing that they are. I mean, that Hearst is still, that Hearst is still a lot of steel in that car, and the Swamp Thing is not. Looks like I got a, hang on, let me roll back up here. I got my original hater, just like he signed on, what's up, KOTV Motorsports? Where's Whitey at? 57 wasn't made for racing, neither is a Hearst. Aerodynamic is brick walls, I agree. Have you heard about the new racing job? I don't know how much truth there is to that. He does a lot of messing with people, a lot of stuff like that, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's something going on. I'm not sure what exactly it is, though. Swamp Thing is all steel. Swamp Thing is not all steel. Swamp Thing is a fiberglass car. That is the only fiberglass car that Olympia will let into a real cash days. Look it up. You have to realize Chief knows who wants to race and who does not. I agree. With Reaper car, you like more the old one of these nuts. The old nitrous car, I didn't care for it. Now that car's moving. That car's moving right now. Do you think they will get back to everyday cars? Nope, I don't. I feel like there will be some more obtainable type cars on some future shows, but like as a every week type thing, no, I do not. The show will get to where they're racing top fuel dragsters on the street and it'll go off. Do you think the banknote will return to the list? I don't. I feel like we'll see Jeremy on the show, but it won't never make it on the list again. Oh, here we go. The Hearst is paid for by Discovery, and they will use it for Farm Truck and Asian Comedy Act. It's way too expensive for average guys to pay for. Well, look at it like this. Hang on. Whitey is running and sitting outside. Hang on. I'll address that in a minute. The Hearst is paid for by Discovery. Discovery is not paying for anything on there. The shops is paying for all this stuff to promote themselves on the show is what's going on. I mean, all the stickers you see on these cars, they're not putting them on there for their health. So it's KOTV Motorsports right here, King of the Valley Motorsports. If y'all aren't subscribed to KOTV Motorsports, King of the Valley Motorsports, y'all go check him out. Great guy. My original hater, talked to him for about an hour after he made this hater video on me, and very good guy. Really into street racing. He's got some video. He's got a twin turbo Mustang. That ain't no joke. And just go check him out. I ain't gonna sit here and just keep talking about him, but go check him out. KOTV Motorsports. He's got a newer model twin turbo white Mustang, and pretty good guy. Original hater. Yeah. He made about a 12-minute video about me breathing hot air. So, but then he turned and made another video about I wasn't that bad of a guy. So go check him out for real, y'all. Did you ever get your minimum requirements or anything? Anyway, why so much money in the Hearst like a log wagon? The same reason there's so much money in the farm truck. I mean, they'll grudge race it, no doubt. I mean, they'll make money on the car, but I mean, same reason they built the monorail. I mean, or gonorail, or whatever you want to call it, because they can. And you know, like talking about dirt track racing a while ago, you know, there's people who, you know, engine builders and stuff that will take and build an engine and loan it to someone basically for them to race it, and then they split the profits. I know a bunch of dirt track racers who do the same thing. There's these big engine builders, and they build them an engine, and they go race it, and then whatever, split the purse, and they just keep a fresh engine all the time. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying, there's a lot of different things that could be the reason why they have it. Dominator would make a great master. I hadn't even thought about Dominator. Dominator's too soft. Dominator is too soft to be a race master. He wouldn't want anybody mad at me. Where is Kelly on the show? I'm assuming he's at home. Make Jeremy, he's the race master. Hell no. I ain't getting in it. Kelly, no problem, buddy. Quit apologizing, do what you do. I'd like to see Nola come back. I like Bobby. It ain't never coming back. It ain't never coming back. The New Orleans guys have some fast cars. They killed themselves on the show, I think. That's my personal opinion. I did like the small tire stuff, and I'm a big fan of small tire stuff. One is I've said this several times. It's more of an obtainable thing for me and you to have is some of these smaller tire cars. I'm not saying they're cheap. I'm just saying the car they're running now on the show is just insane. You're looking at the El Camino is a $150,000 car now. I mean, the average person, that's a house. That's just not obtainable. But like my man, the KOTV guy, his car isn't nothing like theirs, but I like to go watch guys like that. It is something that to shoot for that you can actually do, and I enjoy watching that type of stuff as much as don't get me wrong, man. A 4-second pass is awesome, but it's just not something that we as people that sitting here watching this can do more than likely. Just leave the flagging to Wiley. I agree. Never fear, my infinite wisdom is here. That's the way I feel sometimes. I need to put that on a shirt. Now that there's 200 people watching, y'all, I'll click the link below and everybody order a shirt right now. Best shirt you'll ever put on, I promise. Did you see the video about Cletus setting the new gyms? I did. 782, I want to say, 180 something mile an hour, 182 mile an hour maybe. I did see it. That car still got more in it too. I watch Cletus. I watch him a lot. Oh. Nola was full of drama. Yeah, man. The very last episode that Nola ever filmed, season 2, last episode, when Kai and John Doe ended up with something like, what did they say, $40,000 on a race. There's no possible way that they was really racing $40,000. They might have been. I don't know. I shouldn't have said that like that. But I feel like that was staged for the show. I know that there is races that go on for $40,000, but I don't think those two at the pad, they was not going to bet $40,000. That was all for show. Scott Taylor should have been the host of NOLA. Scott Taylor talked like a robot on the show. Go back and watch it if you can. He would talk like this right here, and I couldn't stand it. And nothing against Scott Taylor. He's fast, I guess, but wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. I'd rather watch 405 or Memphis any day. I would like to see the 405 and Memphis actually race the guys from NOLA on the street, but probably not ever going to happen. Elko, $150,000. I feel like easily $150,000. I think before he got big tires on the car, he had spent 60. So think about where the car's at now. There's an easy $150,000 in that car. Barry Nichols, cars for sale right now. You know that, right? I seen he had a couple of cars for sale. That ain't something I'm looking for right now. Anything I build, I'm gonna be able to drive it. It's gonna have a radiator in it. It's gonna have a alternator on it. I'm gonna be able to drive my shit. Aren't they all back half cars? No, they're not all back half cars. They'll all tell you they're back half cars, but they're not. Um, do you ship to UK for your shirts? Um, I I told a guy the other day I'd asked that question and I haven't. I'm the There's a lot of with the guy that's printing my shirts. He also does a lot of the local schools football jerseys, and we have a college here. He does all their stuff, and I was going to ask him the other day, and I got to talking to him about my stuff, and I forgot to ask him because I was curious as to how many orders I had. I've got a lot of ideas for some awesome shirts, and any profit, which is like $1 a shirt, maybe $2 a shirt, that I'm going to be making off of these is going straight back into those, and I have to ask. Send me an email. Who was that? Barry Haslam. I probably butchered your name, but send me an email, jeastracing@gmail.com, and that way I can get a hold of you. I will find out tomorrow. Now the guys cried too much. I agree. What's up with the white zombie car? It's fast as hell. That's what's up with it. It just won cash days. Memphis is such a wholesome old boy style of drag racing. I agree. It is a big hustle, is what Memphis is. But hustling and racing go hand in hand. I would have already ordered your shirt, but you said something about being youth fit. No, man, I said it's dry fit. They are true size. Yes. I don't know. I don't know what size you need. I'm pretty sure. I know that they go up to double X. And if you need one bigger than that, send me an email to the same email I just sent, jeastracing@gmail.com. I'm going to get some more shirts. I don't remember how many I ordered, but I didn't order any. I think I ordered like a couple of use, and I might have ordered a triple X. I'm not sure. I'll have to look, but I'm going to turn around and order more, and I need to know what kind I'm selling the most of to order more. All three crews get together and racing. Hell, somebody got killed if they done that. Do you think the Elko is a top 3 car? I think it is capable, but not right now. I see them do another nationwide call out for $100,000 to win. I agree. I think that's going to be something like what Bodie does next season. I don't think it's going to be just the 405 versus California. Let me know about the UK. Like I said, you got to send me an email, though. I have no clue how to get a hold of you if you do not send me an email to let you know. Wait till Asian brings back the dung beetle with a turbo super engine. Reaper obviously will have the D car coming up. Coming up what? Go back and listen to the podcast. You will learn all about Nola and Kai Kelly and the truth. I can probably recite all 49 podcast episodes with them. Chief should stay because he started. None of them will be where they are without it. I feel like I agree with that comment. And I do feel like I said a while ago, somewhere deep down he does have the integrity of the list at heart, or he's trying to keep the show's integrity or the list's integrity along with all the other shit and all the other bull that's going on with the show. I would like to know how they decided that Jackie Knox would be the one to come in and try for the list, though. I don't understand that. Just need a XXL. Well, then they got it, buddy. And I can't. I know I say this, and I'm not trying to put a sales pitch on y'all, but I promise you that is the best shirt you will put on. It is so comfortable, and I guess I need to have one on if I'm gonna stay and try to sell it. But I haven't even got mine yet, so I think the 405 need to race more out of town races. I agree. 57, too much car. Did Chuck and Dave have fallen out? They don't seem like friends anymore. I don't know. I've wondered that myself. Um, I've wondered that myself. Daddy Dave and Chuck used to be tight. And if you notice, all of them go back and forth. They're like teenage girls. Uh, it seems like Daddy Dave has pro charger problems every week. That is something I was going to address. I agree with you, but he's spinning that pro charger at some insane RPMs, and that car gets raced a lot. And the argument to what I just said would be you don't see everybody else having problems with them. Well, you don't see everybody race. All the other guys running them, you don't see them race every Saturday night like you do Daddy Dave. Who knows what RPMs you're turning these cars. I was doing some math earlier when the show was on during commercial, and I remember Chuck saying that he turned his car 92 or 9300 RPMs, and that is the equivalent to something like 150 revolutions a second. Think about how fast that's spinning. 150 revolutions a second. I would probably come apart if that was me too. The podcast episodes were full of info that was not on the show. I agree, man. I love the podcast. I feel like if the podcast come on right now, I would be hated on. Woo! It would cost at least $25 to send a shirt to the UK. I have no idea how much shipping would be. I know the tubes aren't much. The shirts are, I want to say anywhere in the United States you can have a shirt shipped for less than $20. Like the shirt plus shipping less than $20. I had a guy, the very first one that I had bought, the very first one that was bought was in California, which would be basically as far away as I can get, and it was the highest I'm gonna have shipping. So, and it was like right at $20. It should be around 15 to 18 bucks. David blew up his car, never passed a win. I agree. Me and my dad was sitting watching the show ago, and we said the same thing. What's up from Center, Alabama? Center, Alabama. I go to Center a lot. I go to Weiss Lake a lot. We have a place on Weiss Lake. Dave is pro Chargers test on me. I agree. Who will be the first one on the 405 with a single turbo? On the street, I don't think none of them will, because they're not going to benefit from a single turbo on the street. Now, some of the guys who run the no prep and the, on the show might, but you're not going to get the benefits of a single on the street like you would at a no prep. Chuck did get a new transmission. If somebody did get a single turbo, it would be Ryan. I wonder if Dave will try his other car out for the list. His small tire car, I doubt it. Listener 13. I always said I was listener 12. Do you think Dave's Pro Charger motor is faster than Nitron? Absolutely. That 481X is a well built engine. Jackie Knox was perfect to build drama because of Daddy Dave in the past. I did chuckle at that. I haven't seen anything. Text me sometimes. Text me sometimes, buddy. I hadn't heard from you in a while. You're too good to text somebody anymore. Jackie Knox was perfect to build drama because of Daddy Dave's past. I did chuckle at that. The perfect show for now would be you didn't see Chuck Knox. I ain't going that far, but I don't think Daddy Dave really cares about any of it anymore. He knows that the Sonoma will never be what it was when he drove it. Is Dave's car faster than the Sonoma? Absolutely. Who do you think should be number one out of all the racers? Who do I think? I don't know. See, there's so many answers to this question. Like, who do I think deserves it? Who would I like to see there? Obviously, right now, Chief's fastest. But Birdman has single. Yes, Birdman is single turbo. I made a video about that the other day. That's one badass truck. I agree. When's the last time Daddy Dave smoked the tires last week, wasn't it? Yeah, last week he smoked the tires. Manza should be first. His car has always been truly the fastest. His car's fast. I don't know about the fastest. You got to think. Monza and Ryan Martin are basically running the exact same setup. I mean, other than like gearing in the transmission or gears in the rear end or something. Other than that, they have the same setup, same turbos, same engine. It's the same stuff. So, and Daddy Dave has the same engine just with a different power adder. They're all, none of them is putting down the horsepower the car makes. So it it doesn't matter. Um, who do you think deserves number one the most? Who do I think deserves number one the most? Um, y'all probably wouldn't like my answer right now, to be honest with you. I think that I'm on. I would love to see Dominator hit number one. I would love to see him hit number one. I don't think he'll ever be able to hold the position, but I would love to see him hit number one. As far as tonight, just basing off what happened tonight, I think that Doc he was a VIP of tonight. He was the star that shined, and that's very rare to say, but he was. I would love to have seen him, do a little better. I'm not saying I like, I'm a Doc fan really or anything, but I feel like he isn't the same dipshit as he used to be, and I have nothing against Doc, but he's gonna have to get that. Y'all hear that? That's what I live next to. Somebody thinks that sounds good too. Bless her heart. Beater Bomb versus Chuck. Whoever creates, God, that sounded awful. Whoever creates the most drama and makes the Discovery Channel the most money will be number one. It's script. It is. There's a lot of script on the show, but there's nothing scripted about letting go of that button. None. How could Ryan copy Monza when Ryan was turbo? Who said that Ryan was copying Monza? And you're hearing what you want to hear if you think I said that. I said they had the same engine and same turbos. That's all I said. I didn't say nobody copied anybody. I do think the season finale has built up to be a possibly awesome show. No telling what's going to happen. I honestly have no clue how things will finish up when all the dust settles. Well, the list is set. There's no more list racing. That's set. They will probably try to tie it all back into the brotherhood and all that, and then it'll go off. My opinion. They'll all be whining and crying when it comes on. There'll be somebody try to fight, and then at the end, they'll all talk about how much they love each other, basically. I believe the reason Eric Bain was on the show was a connection with HV Racing. I think he was involved in bringing Dave's parts. I agree with that 100%. I thought that also, but I wasn't sure. And anything that I say that is wrong, as you just seen, I will get told that I was wrong. So I didn't say that, but I feel the same way. Ryan thinks he belongs at number one, but he doesn't. But he doesn't truly cheat for Dave or Sean or Doc or number one cars, in my opinion. I don't think Ryan thinks he belongs at number one. I think Ryan's actually played it as far as a nice guy as he could. And Ryan's got the fastest car, and you don't hear Ryan run around saying he's got the fastest car. Just my opinion. I think Doc, Dominator, and Ryan are the least annoying people on the show, on the list. Doc's been pretty annoying for a long time, but as far as true to the roots, true to the list, true to everything original, they say that Doc is one of the only people on the show that will go out and race somebody when cameras aren't there just to race for no money, just because he loves to race. And they say that side of Doc never shines on the show because he's so scared of losing. He's not one to swing for the fences. He's more worried about getting on base, and this is coming straight out of Chief's mouth. One of the podcasts, this is how he described Doc. He is more worried about getting on base every time he goes to bat than he is swinging for the fence and hitting that home run. They say that's Doc. Doc has the biggest engine on the show, yeah, by double. Right now, Doc is running a 959 cubic inch motor. Think about that. I mean, I know there's more of them out there. Kai Kelly's got one. I know all that. But think about that. 959 cubic inches. That is insane. Tech by HO, man. Worst season ever. It's up there. I'm going to say last season was worse. Hey, completely random. Something that I noticed that unless it shows it next week, it talked about Monza. You know, Monza said that he was, doing the next week. I didn't catch what he said, but every time there's ever been an accident on the show, major, it'll show him go back the next day and show all the damage and all that. You never seen Monza's car again after it left race night that night. And I wonder how bad the damage was to the car. Is he running a completely new car? Was anything salvageable on it, other than like running gear, but was anything at all salvaged? Did they put a new body on the tube chassis that he had, or what happened? I would love to know the answer to that, and I would love to see a picture of the car like sitting somewhere not in the woods of what it looked like wrecked. I would love to see it. Hey, it's been 55 minutes, guys. It's been 51. At 55, I'm heading off here. One more time, y'all go buy a shirt, check it out, and don't forget about the giveaway. P.O. Box 431, Jacksonville, Alabama 36265. The best package, $50. Your package must be postmarked by the last day of the month, or it will not be eligible to win. Really think I would finish. Hang on. Really think I will finish up cool with everyone. I don't know about that, but the only time will tell. The brotherhood idea went over like a brick balloon. I mean, whether they're actually good with each other or not, I feel like they're going to make it look like it on the show. They're going to supposedly squash all their beef, and everybody's going to be happy and singing Kumbaya is what I think they're going to try to get out of the show. One last question: Monza turbo or nitrous? He might have been. Monza never got comfortable with the turbos. For reliability, a lot of reasons. A turbo, yeah, definitely turbo. What happened to the Chromod? The Chromod is sitting at Midwest streetcars collecting dust. Is what happened to the Chromod. I bet they bought a whole new car. Well, they about have to buy a whole new car for the skin and stuff, but I'm just curious as to what it looked like, What's the point of having 3,000 plus horsepower because you can never put it to the ground and stick? I don't know. I don't think that I think that they are 3,000 horsepower capable. They have none of them cars ever actually, I don't know, they might have. I shouldn't have said that. I don't think none of them cars is ever actually seen a dyno slip that said 3,000 horsepower. I don't think none of them has. I would say 2,000 to 2,200 would be the most that any of us ever put down on dyno. I know Jeff Lutz put the original 57 22, and I haven't seen any of them do anything other than that. I got about 50 seconds right here. I'm about to head off here, guys. Keep it up. I will. Chuck has a small block. Yes, Chuck has a small block Chevrolet. Big Chief wins races. You can't be number one if you're losing races. I agree. I'm calling you out. Okay. Calling me out in what? Like, what of mine? I don't have anything to race. I think Dave's first run with Goliath was 2140 before the track wreck. On a dyno, like to the wheels. I mean, I've got cars to race, but I mean, like, I don't have no race cars. Everything I've ever owned has been I've raced it. Oh, before I leave, I speaking of that, um, they was a, I bought my wife a Nissan Altima in 2000 and it's a '05. It would have been like '07. That was her daily driver. Drove it for several years, and then got her a new car, and I started driving it back and forth to work. And where I live, it's very rural, and I have hit dogs, deer, all kind of stuff. And I'm not going to drive my Corvette, my Super Duty, or anything like that, any of these cars, anything like that, to work to destroy it. And there was some guy that I met in town that he seen my YouTube channel. He got to talking or whatever. Well, he builds imports, and I pulled up today to get gas on the way home or on the way to football practice, and he pulled up next to me, and he was talking for a second. He was in a Honda Civic, and man, it had no exhaust. It was the pissed off Hornet sound, and he was just messing with me, whatever, ribbing it up. And I mean, I was trying to. He was plumb embarrassing me. He was like ribbing it up. And he'll probably watch this and he'll call me and give me hell, but I mean, it was embarrassing. He was just giving it hell, just laughing or whatever. And he told me to go home and get my car, and I told him I'd race him in that Altima, which just got the maximum motor in it. It'll move on pretty good for a little, six banger. But he went to pull out, and there was a cop come flying around the building and lit him up right in the middle of town, like the every red light was back. Everybody's seen it, man. It was so funny. Sorry, that was something I had to sell, I guess. But have I ever been to Opelika? Yes. I hate imports. They're not my favorite. Careful with the cylinder on the Nissan. The transmission is terrible. Man, if that car quit right now, if it blew up, tonight, I could not say a word. The car has been an awesome car, and like I said, I've got my use out of it. I hope it don't tear up. I mean, I'll drive back and forth to work every day, but got off subject here. Ryan never cried when he first came. Ryan never cried when he first came and didn't have any competition, but now he just needs to get all his shit together, and he won't need excuse anymore. Ryan was on the road tonight. Ryan run off and Chuck, and Chuck's car ain't no joke, for real. Chuck's car's fast. Chuck's got... Man, they're all so close right now. The top four right now is all within a fender apart. That's the truth. And that, Chief always said that he wanted the top 10 to all be within a car length apart, and he, for the most part, has it. The problem nowadays is these cars are so fast and so technical and so picky and so computer oriented, and so much that can go wrong, that they can't all make full passes. They can't keep them together long enough to make passes. You think about, several seasons ago, you very seldom had all these problems that you have now. I mean, a nitrous backfire was the worst thing that happened. And, it's not the same. I don't know. I don't know. I made several videos bitching about this, but it's just, that's the problem now. They're too picky of, after each pass, they do the same ritual basically that a top fuel dragster does. I mean, every pass they are, checking head bolts, draining all the fuel, putting fresh fuel in, changing plugs. I mean, going over these cars with a fine tooth comb in between passes on the street. How actual street is that? It is what it is. You're 2 minutes over. You need some sleep. I agree. I still got to make a video when I get off here. You think Doc will ever switch the turbos? Doc will never switch the turbos. If Doc switches to anything, it'll be a Pro Charger. That's what he said. All right, one more question. I'm going to pick one more and I'm done. Alright, we're gonna do this one. You think grudge races will actually help reduce the drama? On the show, I feel like they will make it look like it will, but probably not. They probably will never get rid of the drama. It will probably always be there, and it the you take and put 10 to 12 men together with something to prove, and they're never gonna get along. That's just how it is, especially men that's competitive as these guys are, that have between $100 and $1 million in a car, and they want to go out there and show the world what their $1 million car will do. They're never gonna get along. That's just that simple. But with that being said, guys, girls, everybody, thanks everybody. I've had like somebody from I think every country that has stopped by tonight. Thank you very much. Y'all have no idea what this means to me. It's the true American dream. I thank you very much, and I'm gonna have a video out in a day or two. Make sure you watch them, like them, comment on them, buy a shirt, and if you want to enter in the $50 giveaway, all the rules. Thanks for watching. Godspeed. See ya.